Faith has a new frequency. The Spirit of Huntsville. KHSPLP, Huntsville, Texas. Spirit 94.3.
Ooh, man, I like that new intro. See what happens, Jason, when we have this all-star producer behind the desk, the mosh pit, making it happen for us this morning.
I love it. Yes, that's... I need that energy this morning.
Josh, how much money did we spend on that? Because we're gonna have to take that out of your pay. But how much did you spend on that?
A little under a 1K.
The bill will be in the mail, Rob.
Bill's in the mail. Check will not be in the mail. So just a heads up on that. Hey, we do want to welcome you in. Thanks for hanging out with us here on another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. A beautiful start to the day here on a Thankful Thursday. We want to welcome all of you as well that are on our radio audience. As always, underwriting support for this program is made possible in part by Elliott's Jewelers. Their website is elliotsjewelers.com. And also First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope. More information is online at fbchuntsville.org. Rob Hipp here with the Jason Bay. Jason, good to see you, my friend. How are things going? I know some computer issues this morning, but we're going to turn it around here on the show.
I like your optimism, Rob. Anything. You know, you don't realize how dependent you are on technology until it all quits. But I like the new lights in the studio, man. Every time I come in here, you got something new. I just noticed those on the behind Josh over there. It's really giving him the new age look.
Yeah, and we have the logo behind him now. So whenever he flips, I need to make the button though because he doesn't like flipping to himself. He's a very humble young man.
Yeah, he is.
So I'm going to have the button over here, Josh. Will that help you, Josh, if I have the button instead where you don't have to flip to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to create that. Now, I do have this button, Jason. Did you notice the new eject button over here?
Oh, is that in case someone says something inappropriate?
That's in case Robbie over here has to cough because he always has allergies.
Oh, yeah, the cough button.
So now I can hit this button out. You'll hear it in the background, but...
Yeah, that's much better. That's much better.
And then if I just want to quit talking completely... I need to give you one of these to hush me up, Jason, where you can push it and it hushes me up.
No, you definitely need that for some of your guests.
But yeah, no joke. But you just flip it like this, and now you can't even hear me. See?
Yeah.
Or I push it to talk. See?
Yeah. This is high tech. I mean, Rob's got everything going on in here. He's got the world over here on the TV and. I mean, this is high tech.
We're just trying to step it up a notch. But I think we're done. You ever get to that point to where you're working on something maybe at home and you feel like, yeah, it's done, but there's so much more I can do. Do you ever get to that point? Like a project and you know it's done, but then you look at it and you say, man, I really want to do more.
Yeah, I think that's a good quality to have.
Yeah.
I do. Because
it's good and bad.
You are constantly looking to improve the situation. I think it's better than getting used to just the way things are. You ever walked into somebody's house and you felt like you're walking back in time? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a person years ago that was a part of one of my churches and visited them at their house. They were a sweet, sweet couple, but I mean, literally, you walked in their house and it was like walking into the 1970s. And I didn't have a problem with it. I'm not saying I had a problem with it. I just thought it was interesting.
The old yellow stoves the Formica countertops.
Yeah, it was. You almost had to appreciate it because they really had preserved a time in history.
Well, there's a lot going on. I want to get to a few things this morning. First, let us know that you're out there, just like Jamie Saucier. Good morning, friends. Good morning to you. Also, Jennifer Augustinetti, good morning. It's a thankful Thursday. I like what she said. Here's some positive bell going this morning. She said, I'm thankful for the rain. Y'all have a blessed day. We need it. I'm so thankful. I've been mowing the lawn, I feel like every weekend now, Jason, because the rain is coming. I'm not complaining about it, but I have not ran the sprinkler. I have not ran the sprinkler. I haven't ran the sprinkler. What if you did that when you were preaching, Jason? Like whenever you catch yourself.
Probably have.
No, but you're so professional when you preach.
Oh, no.
Yes, you are. I'm going to say it. See, if I was doing it, Jason, I would make fun of myself and be like, "Hello, good morning, good morning."
Well, the problem, Rob, is now everything is recorded.
Oh yeah,
Everything can be played back. Used to, you could just say something, and if you said something wrong, you just kind of forgot about it and hope everybody else did too. Now they have these websites devoted to churches that have Sunday morning fails.
Sunday
have you
fails.
seen this?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen this?
I've seen this.
I feel so sorry for some of these people. Like they're singing a song or something and the wrong music's playing. They have to start over. And their claim to fame is their 1 minute of mess up and it's reposted on the internet 100,000 times.
Have you seen that video where the drummer is like playing and then the tree falls behind him?
Yeah.
there's
There's some crazy ones out there. There's some, let me just say, when you see what goes on in churches that's not in your church, it makes you feel a little bit better. Maybe that's why they created the website.
Yeah. There was one. A good thing is too, it really shows you like where not to go to church.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. We're getting a snapshot, 1 second or 15 seconds of something that goes on in somebody's church, and then that's all they get known for.
There was one that I was, and I don't ever, I'm not judging or anything, but I mean, I guess I'm being honest though, because there was one and the worship leader, like they're off key and all that. And he straight up calls out people like during the service. And he goes, well, I can tell, I can tell y'all didn't practice it. And I'm sitting there thinking, you're the worship leader. Like you're the one that's the, and I just could not imagine. We are so blessed to have Alan here that I just could not imagine. Alan would never do that. And I just, especially during a live service, Jason, I mean, that's terrible. That'd be like me sitting here is it belittle? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
One time I said bewhittle because I don't know. I'm so ignorant, Jason, when it comes to like trying to remember things. Belittle. That would be like me belittling Josh and he plays something. And I'm like, Josh, I can't believe our producer. I can't believe the mosh pit back there is doing this right now. Jason, can you?
Yeah, no. See.
And you would feel like this, right, Josh? I would never do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a whole series of this one pastor that calls people out, basically by name. Have you seen that, Josh?
See, that would be like right now, like Josh, are the cameras able to flip this morning? See?
To him?
Yeah.
No, not me,
Yeah,
please.
come on, Josh. Anyways, go. Sorry, Jason.
Anyway.
But what was it? It was you were mentioning, sorry, I think I cut you. You were mentioning
you didn't.
About there were some videos.
No, there's this pastor that he would like call people out during the service, like for different things, and it went viral. It's like, I think there was like a guy sleeping or something, or it was terrible.
There was the tech team. Jason and I have major love for tech teams.
Yeah.
And it was funny because this guy, he was preaching and he stops and he goes, oh, I see you up there. And I'm just going to say a name. I don't remember what the name was, but let's just pretend the guy's name was John. He's in the middle of preaching a sermon. Jason goes, oh, I see you up there, John. You think it's funny? You know what's not funny? The way you run that computer and you can't keep up with me. You think you're funny, huh? He goes, why don't you go ahead and get on down from there? We'll get somebody else to do it. And he was talking like this. And then he looks over to his left. And he goes, oh, and here's Todd and Sarah over here, the new young couple. They think they got it all together. He goes, I had to sit there and counsel y'all for 2 years, and you still ain't figured it out.
That is crazy.
And I was like, is this a joke? And it wasn't a joke.
I know. It's
like, I went and looked at the church reviews on Google, and it was 1 star. And all of them were like, I'll never visit your church.
Unbelievable.
Hey, could you do that just on what, can we put a disclaimer up on the morning slides, Jason, that says like today, now look, I
This
got
is an example.
no, there's sanctity in the sanctuary. You know, we want to make, but we're just joking on this part. But let's put a slide up, Jason, that says for the first 5 minutes, I'm going to be calling out all of you. Don't take it personal. Just a disclaimer. If you don't want to be,
comes into the sanctuary.
I see you over there. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, well, it is a good start. There's a lot of things that happen in the ministry, but I'll tell you what, on a serious note, I love Jason these past 3 years. I never thought that I'd be, working in ministry and the fulfillment. It's funny. I was talking to a guy yesterday that called me and he is broadcasting a state championship game for Lake Travis. He's a great guy. He called me for some advice on broadcasting and producing something. And that really meant a lot to me. And I never had a chance to talk to this gentleman much. He's about a year younger than me. And he was telling me, he's like, well, man, I just wish I could connect to some people to get to that next level. He's like, I love doing what I do for the high school level. The community's been good to me, but he's like, I just really want to get to that next level. And I just don't know what to do. And I told him this. I said, man, you have to find fulfillment where you're at. Mm-hmm. Because if you're always chasing the next thing, when you get to the next thing, then you're going to be looking for the next thing. And then you're going to be, I said, you've got to find joy where you're at. And I said, because the reality is you may never get to that level that you want to get to. And I'm not saying that because of him. I'm saying that for any of us.
Yeah.
For me, my dream was always the NFL or the NBA. I had a mentor tell me that you're on your way. And that was my dream. And I felt some fulfillment, but Jason always wanted more. And here's where I'm circling back to this. Because when we sit here and seek the world for fulfillment, we're just going to be seeking the world for fulfillment the rest of our days. Mm-hmm. The business of life is the salvation of souls. C.S. Lewis said that. Mm. And I started thinking a lot about that, Jason. And if you have that attitude and understand that that's what we are called to do in life, is to lead people to Christ. The business of life is the salvation of souls. Man, your whole world dramatically changes, and you start to find fulfillment in every little nook and cranny. And I know, Jason, you've been in the ministry for such a long time, and there's a lot of down days. There's a lot of hard days when you meet with families. But I'm going to tell you, there is joy in leading people to the Lord and sharing the gospel.
Yeah, life. There's nothing better than seeing life transformation, to see people just transformed by the gospel and the power of the Lord. We've talked about this many times, but you can go other places for entertainment. You can go other places for to see a show, but there's only one place you can go to really see life transformation, and that's church. And there's nothing better than hearing testimonies and seeing what God is doing in people's lives, and hearing what God has done. And I'm right there with you. And sometimes in ministry we get so caught up in the details, we lose sight of the big picture. And I think from time to time we just have to step back. And last Sunday was a great example. And I know Josh won't take any credit for this, obviously, but we had a testimony from a young man that's going to serve over at Texas A&M at the BSM. Mm-hmm. He's just taking a position there, and he came to know the Lord just a little over a year ago, and his life has been totally transformed. Not only his life, but his family's life. He came to know the Lord. His mother came to know the Lord. And he's been involved in ministry, and now, from a little over a year ago, he thought he had his life all planned out, and then God just came in and changed it. Said, "No, I got bigger things in store for you." And now he's going over to going to serve for a year over at Texas A&M and there at BSM, and it's all because of what Josh does at the university, just scattering seed, and that's the power of God working through Josh, obviously. But that life transformation is something that only God can do, and to be a part of that is just an amazing experience. We're always asking people to serve, in church, but service, the opportunity is exactly that. It's an opportunity for us to be used by God. And the biggest blessing is the opportunity to be used in life transformation. And the only way we get that is by making ourselves available. We're always begging people to serve, but it should be the other way around. If people get to see the opportunity that service provides, then they get to see the opportunity that God can use them in major ways. This past week, I got here on Monday, and there was a couple of guys from the city that were here. When I came in, they were here talking to Molly, and there was an elderly man in the community. I thought this was cool, Rob, because there was an elderly man in the community that recently had some health issues, and he's a widower, and his yard is overgrown, and some people that were around him were complaining about the way his yard looked. And so the city, a couple men from the city went by his house to ask him about it, and they found out that, well, he had some health issues, and he ended up having to go into the hospital, and then subsequently had to go into a rehab facility. And what I thought was cool about it is instead of getting this guy in trouble for not doing his yard, or writing some sort of citation, you know what they did? They came to the church. They came here and asked if we had anybody that would be willing to go over there and help clean up his yard as a ministry. And of course, we immediately said, yeah, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. We'll get it. So I drove by there yesterday and assess the situation, and then we're going to get some people out there to help him. But it's just an opportunity to be used by the Lord, and sometimes that's all it is just saying, here I am, Lord, use me. And I think if we had more people that were willing to be used by God, we could see much more fruit from the ministry, and then ourselves be transformed by just allowing the Lord to use us.
Wow, I didn't even realize this had happened. I saw something on Slack last night about it, and I didn't realize this. And I'm glad I was going to ask you about it a little bit later today. But there's several incredible things that stood out about what you just said. Number one, our city. Boy, you think about the city. A lot of times when you say the city, there's this negative connotation in any community. Oh, you got to do with the city. I'm going to tell you what, there's no gain for me saying this other than I'm proud of my community. We have a great mayor, great city council here, great people who are proactive, who love this community, who want what is best for this community. How many cities can say that they've got the workers that will go to a church and say, can you help? Instead of immediately finding violations for this guy and making his life even worse.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
They knew to come to the church.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And so Molly ended up making some phone calls because it turns out this man doesn't have any family in the area. He's got a friend that has this power of attorney. And so we wanted to make sure that we would get permission to be on his property to do the work that needed to be done, and that nobody would think we were trying to steal anything, So we made the contact. He told us, man, that would be so much. And hey, I'm willing to make a donation to the church for y'all's time. We're like, no, that's not necessary. We just want to be a blessing to others and be blessed by being the hands and feet of our Lord. But think about that. I mean, you drive by a house and you see it's run down, and there's a guy on the internet that does that. I don't know if
the mower guy.
Yeah, and he sees houses that look neglected, and a lot of times there's a story that goes behind it, things that have happened to people, unfortunate circumstances. And when you just kind of get out of your comfort zone and are willing to say, I wonder what's going on here, and I wonder if I could help, then only God knows what can happen out of that. And I'm going to go. I found out where the guy was. I talked to his neighbor, and I just want to go by and meet him and just to tell him that we're praying for him, and he's not alone.
A lot of times too, you'll hear of situations. This one was just some health issues. A lot of times it's mental health as well, and we have to be mindful of that. And this isn't anything to joke about. There was a lady in Georgetown for years. My dad was a health inspector, and he was called to go into this lady's home. Now, when the health inspector has to go into a home, there's something serious going on. And this lady, Jason, I won't go into the details because you can only imagine, but people always judged her instead of asking, what can we do to help? Well, she had a lot of pets. When her pets would pass away, she would put them in the freezer. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay. And power had went out at her home, and she didn't have electricity for a long time. Nobody ever took a moment. And I know, I mean, my thought is exactly the same thought as all of you right now. Like, that's terrible. But nobody ever took the moment to say, what is she going through that's causing her to do this? And finally, somebody stepped in and got her some help. They ended up having to condemn. It was a beautiful old home right in downtown. I mean, those are $1 million properties now downtown. But they had to condemn that home. But it was because somebody took that initiative to say, there's something serious going on here, and we need to go help this lady, instead of just judging her. And she apparently was a professor, a very smart professor at one time at the local university. There was all of these things going on in her life. But Jason, nobody ever took the time to say, how can we go and be a blessing and help her? Now, I get it. I would not want to go in the house and, help with something, but at least I could show up and knock on a door and say, is there anything I can do for you today?
Yeah.
And nobody ever did that. Finally, somebody did, and it dramatically changed her life.
Wow, that's awesome.
So
that's awesome.
You never know.
Yep.
Well, hey, time now is 8:11. Let's keep it on the FM today. I want to come back and hit some national news. I know, boy, you guys are excited about that. Also, some local stuff, and I want to talk a little bit of sports. I have some heartbreaking sports news that I wanted to go over this morning, and a lot more happening on the show. Also, a little bit later, making something out of nothing. Jason, I have a few that I thought of on the way in this morning.
I've got some.
One of it has to do with sports.
Yeah, mine too.
We'll talk about that and more. Stay with us right here on Spirit 94.3, and do us a favor. Let us know that you're out there, and we'll be back in just a moment.
No vicinity to Barrett Radar.
Welcome back at it. Good morning, Huntsville, here on a thankful Thursday. Wanted to say thank you to all of you joining us again. Jamie Saucier, Quentin Glaze, Jennifer Augustinetti, Brian Smith, my buddy from Fargo, you betcha, joining us this morning. And by the way, happy late birthday to Dave Jacobs, my buddy up there on 107.7 The Fox. Dave Jacobs turned 60 a few days ago. And so, Brian, if you see Dave around town, I don't know if you know Dave, the 107.7 is the one that carries the Bison games along with 1660. But happy birthday to Dave Jacobs. Valerie January joining us, my sister, saying good morning, Huntsville. Happy blessed Thursday. And also our great friends and just a patriot. I just think the world of this man, Mr. Richard Horn, who had a birthday just a short while back. His wife, Linda, joining us this morning saying, "Good morning, Huntsville." I love what she said, Jason. "This is the day our Lord has made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it." Amen. Mm-hmm. Well, nationally, a little news here I'm going to try something new, Jason. Let's see if the numbers drop off real quick. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Nationally, attention remains focused on Washington this morning. Lawmakers continuing to debate major spending legislation and several foreign policy issues. Seems like they're doing that all the time, though. Elon Musk apparently is getting in the middle of this now, and he is frustrated with some of this spending. Meanwhile, smoke, did you know about this? Smoke from Canadian wildfires are impacting the quality of air quality in portions of the northern U.S. We see this from time to time where it blows.
Mexico,
the Mexico fires blow up here. I think I'd ask you about this, Jason. You don't really have allergies too bad, do you?
No, not really bad. Now my wife, she has bad allergies, but her allergies are very specific. When we moved to Waco, we found out that she was highly allergic to cottonwood trees, and there was on our street that we lived on, there was just cottonwood tree after cottonwood tree after cottonwood tree, and her eyes would just turn bloodshot red when she was wearing contacts at the time. That's when we started looking into LASIK for her, and that really helped her because not having to wear the contacts, she didn't like wearing glasses. So yeah, it's real. My son has allergies. When we mow the grass and stuff, he really suffers, but I'm fortunate not to have anything major.
I have a runny nose every day of my life. I've had it since I was in high school, and I've went to numerous allergy I don't know what you call them. People that test you and make a bunch of money. That's what I call it.
Yeah, and then you give you the same thing everybody else has.
Yeah, and it's never worked. I sneeze every day, at least 4 or 5 times a day. And somebody had told me, they said, "Rob, maybe that's why you're tired all the time, because your immune system is in overdrive trying to fight these allergies all the time." Now, Miss Horn has told me a few things, and you can take these B12 shots, and maybe I need to start doing that. That's the one thing I haven't tried yet, Jason. So we'll see. One thing about Kim, I was going to say this. Y'all lived in Waco during some pretty rough times with the Baylor Bears. This was when the Bears, you couldn't even, and let me just full disclaimer. Number one, I'm a huge Baylor fan. Number one on my list, I don't know if you knew this, but number one on my list are the Baylor Bears. Always have been since I was a kid. I've always supported the Bears over A&M, way down at the bottom of the list, and it's got to be somebody that I cannot absolutely stand is them playing. I will root for Texas if it's somebody that I just cannot stand. I will root for OU when OU plays Texas. I'm just going to go on the record to say this, by the way. So it's got to be somebody really bad for me to root for Texas. But I was going to say, when you were saying that Kim was allergic to something, I thought you were going to say to the Baylor Bears losing streak. So I thought that's maybe what it was.
Well, we lived in at Baylor whenever they had a pretty good football team back in the day. Oh, that
was back in Art was probably there. Okay,
yes,
okay.
It was.
So y'all were after the
losing. Yeah, it was. That's when they beat A&M pretty regularly.
Yes. Yeah, those were good days.
Mm-hmm.
Good days. All right, Jason. A couple of other things here. Business news. Investors keeping a close eye on economic indicators. Interest rate expectations as the markets continue to react to inflation and employment data. That has been all across the board. And you see this, Jason, with gas prices. Yesterday, boy, it is so tough. And I don't want to just sit here and spin the wheel that everybody already knows the obvious. It has been so tough. And finally, yesterday, I got gas for $3.39 a gallon. It was at the Circle K over there off 980. And they had a promotion that if you sign up for free for their rewards club, you get 25 cents off a gallon your next 5 fuel ups. I was 10 miles below empty. And so yesterday, $3.39 a gallon, not bad.
It's pretty good. So you're telling me that if you're 10 miles below empty, that means you push the car for 10 miles.
Well, so here was I had the privilege to meet with a family. I helped this family back in June through a loss in their family, and they had asked me to come back and help with his daddy now. And I said, man, I would be honored to do that and honor y'all's family and your dad that way. And so I met with this family. Well, here's the deal. I said, hey, I'm running about 5 minutes late. I didn't realize how far off 980 from here it was. I thought it was maybe 10 minutes. Well, it ended up being 15. So I was 5 minutes late. So I'd message him. I said, I'm going to be 5 minutes late. Well, Jason, I'm halfway there. I'm over there at the Rodeo Food Court, and I still had about 6 miles to go. And you know where I'm talking about, the Rodeo Food Court off 980? There's a Smiley's, and then Delphina has the food court over there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's past the high school off Fifth Hatchery. Well, I realized I've got 5 miles to go, and guess what? I'm at 0 now. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay.
Then it starts going negative.
Yeah, no. And so what did I do? I got on the internet real quick. I was at a stoplight, and I know I shouldn't be on my phone, but I had to figure this out. And I got on real quick. I did a Google search. I said, I have a 2019 F-150. How many miles below 0 can I drive? And it said that there is a reserve tank of about 30 miles that you have. So
now you know that, Rob. That's dangerous.
Yes. Because now
So you're going to be saying, it's only got 2 miles worth of gas, but it's really 32.
Yeah. Have you ever?
I know how it works.
Have you ever pushed it to the limit, or are you pretty good about
No, I've definitely pushed it to the limit, just praying that I'd had enough gas to coast into a gas station many times. I've never officially run out though, so praise the Lord for that. But my mother has. My father used to. One of the things he used to do for her was he would always fill up her gas tank. So he would check her car out, make sure it had gas in it and all that. Well, when he died, she didn't know to check the gas, and she ran out of gas like 2 times after he passed away. Check the gas. But I tell you what, the gas, like I agree with you. People are going through a rough time. It's hard to make ends meet, and I'm experiencing that myself because of the when you have multiple cars like we do with the kids and stuff, you sit there and think you not only have one gas tank to fill up, but I have 4. I have mine and then Kim's that she drives. She doesn't really drive it a whole lot, but then 3 of the kids have cars, so that's 5 gas tanks that I'm filling up, and that it adds up tremendously quick.
Well, we just keep praying, and we know that. And I was thinking about this yesterday when I was filling up. I said, what if the gas prices never go down again? Mm-hmm. Because I feel like we hit these plateaus, and then it never goes below that again.
Well, what happens then is that all the food prices go up because, it takes gas, diesel to get things distributed. It's crazy.
Well, and across much of the rest of the country, forecasters monitoring another round of severe weather threats. This stretches from the plains into parts of the Midwest. I know Brian is up in North Dakota, but just to the south of him in South Dakota, a pretty high chance of some really rough weather today. And so our prayers are with all of those friends. I know my sister has family in South Dakota on my brother-in-law's side, and so just be mindful. In fact, last night I was watching a documentary. If you go back to May the 22nd, I think it was 2011. Boy, it seems like it was just yesterday, but that was so long ago now. May the 22nd, 2011, Joplin, Missouri, faced one of the worst F5 tornadoes that we have ever had in this nation. About 158 people lost their lives tragically. And I was sitting there last night, and the children are with me, and you got to be mindful of what you watch when your children are with you. And I'm sitting there not even thinking that my daughter's watching this with me, and it was a documentary of that Joplin tornado. Mm-hmm. And 4 years old, I don't want to watch anything. And it was one of those Weather Channel ones, so it's not like it was horrible or anything. But in a way, it was neat because Braylon started asking me questions, and we were having a discussion on, safety and being safe and not being outside during bad weather. And Jason, there was literally their high school graduation happened, and 5 minutes later there was a tornado warning.
I saw that documentary. Was that Netflix?
Yeah, I think it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that documentary. I started watching it too. I didn't finish it, but I love the storm shows.
Yeah, that was a tough one. And and then you go back and I didn't even mention it on the show. May the 27th, 97 was the last F5 tornado that ever affected the state of Texas. Was in Gerald, just north of me.
I remember that.
We met a lady named Kelly. Kelly had lost her brother, and his entire family passed in that tornado. It was very tragic. And the Lord put her on my heart, Bridget and I. And so every year we always send Kelly something. She lives in California, and every year we gift her something there. And it's, You never know. And I don't say that to say, look at what we're doing. I say it because sometimes the Lord will put somebody on your heart, and that person may be on your heart the rest of your life. And you just talk to that person, and it doesn't mean you got to call them every single day. In fact, we usually reach out to her once a year, and it's on that date because we want her to know that we're always thinking of her. And maybe that's a message for somebody this morning, Jason, that you know what, there's somebody that's on your heart today that you need to reach out to. And you never know what that constant communication, and when I say constant, it doesn't have to be every day. For us, it's once a year. But you never know what that once a year, just telling somebody that you're thinking of them, is going to do in their life. Mm-hmm. You never know what that's going to do. And 20 years down the road, you may look back and that person may say, I'm so thankful I was going through a rough season, and I'm so thankful that you always reached out to me. That may be some of you today. You need somebody to reach out. And so think about that as we go on. Now, the one segment that I was absolutely not wanting to talk about this morning. You ready for this?
Yes.
You already know where it's going.
I know where it's going.
But do you? Because I'm going to start with some positive news.
There you go.
I don't keep up with the Longhorns too much. Just don't. We're not a sports show. I don't keep up. Josh doesn't feed me this information. It's not his job. In Spanish, it's no es mi trabajo. It's not my work. But Josh and Jason, did you know that the Texas Longhorns softball team is in the national championship?
And that's supposed to be good news for me, Rob?
Did you know this? I had no idea. I have not been keeping up with it. The only reason that
yes, I did. They're going against Texas Tech, so I mean, we probably have some Red Raider fans out there that can, Texas won yesterday,
like
correct?
7-3,
and so today it's a 3-game series, correct?
They win today. They got it.
Yeah, so it depends on whether you're rooting for Texas Tech, the blue collar people of Central Texas, or Lubbock, the Dust Bowl of Texas, or you're going from the elitist in Austin.
As we refer to fake cowboys. Just kidding.
Austin's not Texas, is it?
I don't know. There's a reason we live in Huntsville now. My cousin, Justin Straight Bergen, he was named after George Strait, by the way. Justin Straight Bergen. He used to be the masked rider at Texas Tech for a couple of years. That was a pretty cool little claim. Now he's a veterinarian. He does a traveling vet. He does horse veterinary.
So the University of Texas women's softball team won the national championship last year, Rob. So this would be the second time in a row that they won it. So now we're rooting for Texas Tech here, the underdogs. Mm-hmm. So let's go Red Raiders.
Well, again, the Longhorns 1 win away from another national championship. Tech
and Tech's 2 wins away from a national championship.
Yeah, Tech is 2 wins away. They beat Texas Tech last night 7-3. That was game 1 of the Women's College World Series championship in Oklahoma City. Texas Tech striking first with a leadoff home run. The Longhorns answered a 5-run first inning and never looked back. Tegan Coven threw a complete game for Texas.
Heard about that.
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
Incredible pitcher.
Katie Stewart made history, a home run in her 4th straight Women's College World Series game. Texas now leads the best of 3 series. They make it sound like they now lead the best of 3. Well, of course, it's 3 games. They win 1. Of course they lead. Game 2 tonight at 7 o'clock Central. A win, the Longhorns would secure a back-to-back national championship. So there you go. This is why you need to watch this show or listen.
The rich get richer.
Fake cowboys. In the NBA Finals, someone's going to quit.
All right, here we go. This is what we've been waiting for.
Josh, we have any sad?
Yeah, we got.
Can we start with that?
There we go.
We have any kind of mellow, depressing type music that you can put behind this?
What's the Sarah McLaughlin or whatever her name is, when the sad dogs are in the background and in the eyes of the angels.
That's what it is. We finally got Jason to sing on the show. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, though? The picture of the dog behind the chain link fence shivering, and the other one chained up with a big trucker's chain in somebody's backyard.
Well,
we need that. We need that.
Josh, what you could do is hit up our handy program over there and just on the instrumental, just put very sad and depressing instrumental. Okay. And I'll go ahead and start this while you find that. Okay. And then you just fade it in. You don't have to load it into the carts. You could just fade it in right from the web. You get what I'm saying?
Here we go. While he looks that up, let me give a little prep work here.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to hear from the heart, the broken heart of Rob Hipp on his beloved San Antonio Spurs. Rob, the floor is yours.
In the NBA Finals, the San Antonio Spurs are looking to bounce back after a heartbreaking loss last night against the New York Knicks. It was a rematch of the 1999 NBA Finals where the Spurs won in a NBA lockout season. Well, last night the Spurs were up by 14 in the third. We were feeling good.
I watched it.
My son was yelling. I even put it on social media. Go Spurs, go. He had nacho chips in his mouth. I didn't care because that was my boy cheering on our team. It is a Spurs house. So there we go. I like that. It was a frail night, though, after the 14-point lead was decimated by the San Antonio Spurs. They were so exhausted after such a tough 7-game series against the Oklahoma City Crying Thunder with a nationally known gas station as their sponsor on the side of their jerseys. They did not make it. The Spurs, though, were tired, Jason. Wembanyama had given it all. His emotions were drained. It was a very sad night for San Antonio Spurs fans across the nation. America's newest team, the all-time winningest franchise of any sport anywhere in the U.S. But they're looking to rebound tomorrow night. Heartbreaking loss for the Spurs.
Need to say something here. Need to say something here, Rob. You know how you get notifications that pop up on news? Just a few minutes ago, 6 minutes ago exactly, I had a news article pop up on my computer, and it says, Jalen Brunson knew how to close game one. Victor Wembanyama didn't. Now, I am rooting for the Spurs
well, that
here.
laugh, though, kind of sounded kind of like...
evil.
Yeah, it sounded like anti.
Hang on. I am rooting for the Spurs. I've been rooting for the Spurs ever since they, if nothing else, Rob, for your sake, I'm rooting for them. But I also like the fact that they are a young team, and especially when they're going against New York. And I will say this. I wanted to bring this up later in our segment that we do, Am I Making Something Out of Nothing? But I kind of already know the answer to this. One of the things that cemented my support behind your beloved San Antonio Spurs was watching the game on TV last night. Okay. Am I making something out of nothing? I know we have a whole intro for this, but I want to just ask you this question really quick, Rob. You're going to a game, right? You're going to a game, and you've been to lots of sporting events throughout your lifetime. You're going to a game. You're going to the home team, but you're rooting for the other team, right? How much are you willing, or how much leeway do you give the opposing fans in your stadium? Because what I see is a trend. I see a trend of the over obnoxious fan from the opposing team coming into visiting stadiums and just making, a fool out of themselves in a stadium full of the opposing fans. I think that, and by the way, I'm an Aggie fan, and I've experienced this firsthand as well. It seems like a growing trend that you get people that purposely come to your stadium, for lack of better terminology, wearing the opposing team's colors, which is fine. I'm not opposed to that. But then purposely going out of their way to make it known to everybody in the section how much they hate your team and how much they love their team. I mean, am I making something out of nothing, or is this totally ridiculous? And I don't know if you watched it last night, but there seemed to be an overabundance of Knicks fans there in San Antonio. And another thing that am I making something out of nothing is these resale venues have ruined the home field advantage. Because listen to this, I came across this statistic, Rob. Back in 1999, tickets to the NBA Finals games were as low as $19. Now, due to secondary ticket sales and sites, they now range. Last night's game, the cheapest ticket you could get was $801 to over $5,600. That's 50 times higher than the 1999 Finals tickets. And a lot of these season ticket holders, what they're doing is they're reselling those tickets and making their money back. But then you get scenes like you had last night where you're watching the stadium. This didn't occur in the previous rounds. I don't know if you paid attention, but in the previous rounds, when you looked upon the stadium, they're giving out these free shirts, and you have these different sections that are different colors. And so last night when they showed it, it was a lot of, Knicks fans scattered throughout.
Yeah, they weren't wearing the shirts.
Right. They're paying big time money to fly down here, and then they come to the opposing stadium and act like it's theirs. You know what I'm saying? I think there deserves to be a little bit of respect when you're visiting the opposing team's stadium. I'm okay with you wearing the jersey of the opposing team. I'm okay with you cheering for them. But man, put the brakes on the exuberance and it's too much.
Well, I guarantee I know what it is.
Oh, I do too.
It's just trying to draw attention to yourself, first of all. And secondly, it's because of the things that they consume before and during the game. Yes, it is.
And it's worse, though, now than it's been before.
It's not a family-friendly environment
anymore. It's worse. And, you're exactly right, because I've been to the games where the people from the opposing, they'll just are so obnoxious with the language that they're using, and it's just they're trying to make a point, they're trying to draw attention to themselves, and it's too much. It's too much. And I think I'm not making something out of nothing when I say they need to tap the brakes on that. If you're going to the opposing fan base, show a little bit of respect for those people that are there. And a lot of those fans, especially in San Antonio is a smaller market team, and they have season tickets, and they haven't paid a whole lot. A lot of these people
I didn't pay much for mine back in the day.
They're not overly expensive tickets. So these people that are sitting around the stadium, they're not overly wealthy people. But what do you have? Overly wealthy people buying up those tickets, and it's sad because they're pushing the regular guy out.
Yeah, it's. San Antonio is a very unique market. It's one of my favorite cities. I love being here in Huntsville. If I ever had to move somewhere else, my next choice would be San Antonio. I love the city. I love the people. I love the culture. There's just something special about that community.
It too. It's cool. They got a lot of history there.
But you are not making something out of nothing. But San Antonio, in a way, as a Spurs fan, San Antonio was kind of asking for this, though. And you're wondering why. Listen to this, and you'll find out why.
Introducing the starting lineup for the visiting Eastern Conference champions, the New York Knicks. 6'5" guard from Villanova, number 3, Josh Hart.
Do you hear that in the background?
Yeah, I hear it.
Guard from Villanova, number 11, Jalen Brunson. 6'6" forward from Villanova, number 25, Mikal Bridges. 6'7" forward from Indiana, number 8, OG Anunoby. And a 7-foot center from Kentucky, number 32, Karl Anthony Towns.
But listen to the reaction of the fans. I'm telling you, there was a lot of Knicks fans there last night, and it all comes back to money.
They trolled New York so hard last night.
Well, they should have.
Yeah. Anyways, Spurs, they lost that game. Wemby finished 26 points, 12 boards, but Jalen Brunson, 30 points. They closed out. The Knicks closed out the Spurs. Get this, on an 11-0 run.
Did you watch the whole game? I'm
Oh,
assuming.
yeah.
Okay. Did you see? I knew it was over when Wemby goes down
And he loses the ball.
the ball, that last, and I think they took the ball back on that very next possession and made a 3-pointer. And
He
it
was
just
trained.
Yeah, and it's sad because I really, really think that San Antonio has the better team. But the East and the West conferences are so much different. The competition that San Antonio faced with OKC was unreal. I mean, that was a heck of a series. And I just feel like that they are tired. They're drained. All of them. They're drained, and the physicality of that OKC series was overwhelming to Wemby.
I'm glad you got my word in there, physicality. That's in my making something out of nothing segment. And then when you have the physicality of a team like that, then you go up against, many teams, a lot of physicality, Jason. But then as you go up against the Spurs, not only the physicality, but you have to go up against the verticality of Victor Wembanyama.
Hey, I'm going to just say this. I just want to say this, that the pressure's all on San Antonio now. If they lose a second game,
it's done. They're done.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing about when you start out as the home team and you lose that first game.
But remember,
you put your back to the wall pretty much.
They lost one of them against OKC and came back.
And they've done well when they've had to respond, and I hope they do respond. I hope they blow them out in next game. It's tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, tomorrow night and game 2 Friday night in San Antonio, and we are looking for the blowout.
Yes.
All right, closer to home, our church here hosting a blood drive coming up on Saturday. This Saturday, still some slots available, 9 to 3. The donor coach will be here. You know, I wanted to mention something about this because I'd never thought about giving blood. Saves people's lives. But I was scared. I was nervous, Jason. But when I did it finally. And it was one of the most comfortable experiences I've ever had of doing something like that. I know you give blood quite a bit.
It's good for you to give blood. I mean, it helps in a lot of different areas. But I like the approach of our church. You know, if you don't sign up, they put a major guilt trip on you. My daughter was walking past the table the other day, and they asked her if she was willing to give blood. She says, no, I have never done that before. I don't think so. And I think if you're over 16, you're able to give blood.
Yeah,
is that correct?
I think it's 18, maybe.
Oh, is it 18?
I'm not sure,
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, they were like, and some of her friends that give her a hard time were standing around her, friends and family, I should say. And they said, oh, well, you must not like babies then.
Her friends told her that, yeah. Did she end up giving in?
Yes, she did.
See? I told someone the other day, I said, do you want to be responsible for little Amy not making it? And they're like, no. I said, well, sign up. So we have a church member here who's very passionate about that, and we want to make sure that people sign, because it is. I didn't even think of it. Just like when I had my friend Ty Gibson on the show last week, I never thought before I met him about donating an organ. And he goes, what are you going to do with it? You're gone.
That's right.
And he's received a pancreas and 2 kidney transplants in his lifetime, which is unbelievable. And so the same way for blood, you can go to our website, hellohuntsvilletx.com. You can find out more information on how to sign up and give blood. Again, Saturday, we still have a few slots available. Also this Saturday, I just love our friend Tara Burnett, Roger Burnett, there at the Hearts Veterans Museum. This Saturday, the Sam Houston Memorial Museum will host now this isn't the Hearts Veterans Museum, but this just shows about how much our community loves veterans. Tara and Roger do at the Hearts Veterans Museum. This is at the Sam Houston Memorial Museum, though. They are hosting a D-Day Remembrance program beginning at 10 a.m. This, of course, honoring the anniversary of the Allied invasion of Normandy, free and open to the public. And then as we look ahead, Jason, can you believe that the 4th annual Rays of Hope, Hello Huntsville and Spirit 94.3 Rays of Hope, we scheduled that for Thursday, June the 18th. We are looking for sponsors to help make that possible so we can get some T-shirts. I reached out to a few folks. I know things are hard for a lot of organizations right now, but for $350, I believe it is, we can get you on a T-shirt. And those shirts have become a prized item here in Huntsville with the regular attendees that drop off. And so if you come by the H-E-B parking lot on Thursday, June the 18th, we're going to be there from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you donate items or cash, $20 or more, we'll give you a T-shirt. And that's a lot of fun. You've been there with us since we started, Jason.
Yeah, no, it's a great ministry and great opportunity. And like we said before, earlier in the show, it's an opportunity to be used by the Lord in a major way. Just giving a little, it makes a huge difference.
Proceeds from that event go to our friends at the Care Center Huntsville, Safe House, Good Shepherd Mission. We want to continue to bless HISD Social Services and also Tomorrow's Promise, the Education Foundation for the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. One final thing before we break, and then we'll come back and we will have Making Something Out of Nothing. Quick look at your weather here in Huntsville. A warm and humid East Texas day, a mix of sun and clouds. Slight chance of an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon, but most areas should remain dry. How about this? 91 degrees this afternoon, and those south winds from 5 to 10 blowing the humidity towards us. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild and 73. And then as we look ahead to Friday and the weekend, temps remain in the upper 80s to low 90s. Typical summertime weather outside. A few scattered afternoon thunderstorms will be possible, but no widespread severe weather expected. So that is good news. Jason, who's in charge of mowing the Bay family farm? All of y'all, or
you're looking at them, but the kids help though too. Last time Jeremiah, he did a great job getting on the mower and mowing it. But man, it's need mowing right now, and if we can get a break from the rain. But the rain's been, like I said, we talked about it earlier, the rain's been a great thing, especially for all of our farmers and ranchers out there. Having a little rain this early in the summer is a blessing.
Hey, and I wanted to shout out, too, to Noah, your son, graduating from Texas A&M. That was a great little graduation. Not little, a lot of folks turned out, and that's, man, so much fun just going out there. Our children had a great time, and that was a lot of fun on Sunday night, being able to come out and just hang out with you guys.
Well, we enjoyed it so much. We really did, and it was great. I love doing things like that. We need to do it more often. We just had a great I had a great time just interacting with people from the church, and then a lot of people that are just guests of our church, visitors, or people that I didn't know that well, coming out and getting to know people in a different format away from church really helps get to know them a lot better.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a break, and let's keep it on. Let's take a break. We've got a really fun segment, so we're going to break from the radio here. We'll go back to more music and programming on Spirit 94.3. We've got a really fun segment that will come up, though, and if you want to be a part of that, hang out with us on social media. Many of you are. You can find us on Hello Huntsville on YouTube, also on Facebook, and come join us there as we continue the show there. For the rest of you on Spirit 94.3, we'll go back to music and programming. But coming up, Making Something Out of Nothing. Jason already started it. We're going to continue it here in a few moments. It's your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville. For those of you on the radio, God bless you. Have a great day. For the rest of you, we will be back here in just a few moments.
Are you ready for a better way to bank? Join Walker County Federal Credit Union today. As a member, you'll enjoy low-cost loans, no annual fees, and easy online access. We're not just a credit union. We're a community dedicated to your financial success. Experience friendly service tailored for just you. Why wait? Join us online at walkercountyfcu.com or drop by our location at 1802 Normal Park Drive, Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
At Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, we're not just a place where children pass the time. We are not a daycare. We are a child care center focused on the growth, learning, and discovery. Every day, children engage in meaningful activities that build confidence, independence, and a love for learning. From reading and math to social and practical life skills, our students are active participants in their development. Ready to give your child something more? Visit tomorrowspromise.info and discover what makes our school different. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Education you can trust.
Hey friend, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to let you know that Elliott's Jewelers right here in Huntsville, they're celebrating World Diamond Day all month long with a special annual diamond event. Right now, through May the 31st, you can save 30% on in-stock diamond jewelry valued at $3,000 or more. So whether you're shopping that perfect gift for your mother, an anniversary, an engagement ring, or a gift that says more than words can, Elliott's Jewelers offers personalized service by appointment only. They also offer custom designs, jewelry repair, gold buying, appraisals, and restoration. You can book your appointment today at Elliott's Jewelers right here in Huntsville. Visit them online to book that appointment at elliotsjewelers.com. Hey friends, this is Rob Hipp, and I'm here to talk about a true expert in the real estate world. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Terry Coleman of the Coleman Realty Group.
With 33 years in the business, I've dedicated my life to making your real estate dreams come true. Specializing in residential properties, I serve Walker and Montgomery counties, from Spring to Trinity and areas all around.
They call her your next door agent, and here's why.
I'm not just here to help you find a home or lease a property. I'm here to build lifelong relationships. Whether it's residential or commercial, farm or ranch listings, there's something for everyone.
Now you might wonder, what sets Terry apart from other real estate agents? Well, it's simple. She goes above and beyond for her clients, like the time she surprised a family from California with a fully decorated Christmas tree and gifts when they returned from closing. You shouldn't have to compromise on the joys of home during life-changing moments. So, if you're ready to make your real estate dreams come true, here's what you need to do.
Visit my website at myrealtorterry.com and let's make those dreams a reality.
That's Terry Coleman, your expert in all things real estate.
I'm Terry Coleman, your next door agent, and I can't wait to help you open the door to your new life.
Hi, this is Braylon. You are listening to Feel Radio. God bless you.
Turn a tiny little gripe into a Saturday night. Make something out of nothing. Crank it up loud till it feels just right. Jason, Rob, and Josh got the whole room humming, laughing at the stuff that keeps the world still running. Make something out of nothing. Whoa, we're doing it live. Woo. Jason walks in with a look on his face, says, who keeps leaving crumbs all over the place? Rob says, hold up, I got 1, 2. Why do people drive slow in the passing lane, dude? Josh says, let me tell you what gets me bad. A printer with no paper when I just had some paper in that thing, man. Now the mics are hot and the coffee's strong, and everybody's got something that's been wrong all along. It may not matter, but it matters today. So grab that little problem and let the guitars play. Make something out of nothing. Turn a tiny little gripe into a Saturday night. Make something out of nothing.
All right, it's my favorite time to get negative here on Good Morning Huntsville. Josh, give me that old negative tone you got over there. There it is. Boy, I just took all the joy out of the studio, Jason. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I already said mine's making something out of nothing. Mine was, if you're just tuning in, was going to an opposing team's home field. So you're a visitor, and you're overly obnoxious to make it known to everybody in the section that you are indeed rooting for the other team. Not that they didn't know already, but that you have to make it known that you're rooting for the other team.
Yeah, you are not making something out of nothing. I fully agree with that one, Jason. Mine this morning.
Wait. I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you think of the World Cup? Like, they're not in their in someone's team.
No, I think that's perfectly legit. I think it's cool to see. Especially that's even a little bit different because it's almost like the Olympics in a way because you're rooting for your country. For the most part. But I think it's like when you purposely go to a visiting ballpark, a visiting football venue, even if you were to go from the United States over to Europe and to see a home soccer match, you can root for the other team. I'm not saying that. And I'm not even saying you can't wear their colors of the opposing team. I'm just saying show a little respect for the people around you that are rooting for the other team. And I think I've seen it both ways. Now, we were at A&M this past year, and there was a family that was there from Auburn, and they were sitting in front of us. Somebody obviously had sold their tickets, and so they were sitting in front of us where we were sitting, and they were the nicest people, and they were rooting for their team, and they were just really respectful, and we got to kind of know them a little bit. I mean, we saw them, and they were just perfectly good people. But you know what I'm talking about, the one that comes there and has to make it known that hey, not only are they rooting for the other team, but every time your team messes up, and the reason I brought that up is because I'm watching the game last night. And I'm seeing the San Antonio. How long has it been since San Antonio's
12 years.
12 years. Mm-hmm. And I know San Antonio is not really that wealthy of a city. It is a smaller market, much like OKC. And like I told Rob, a lot of these fans, they're not super wealthy people. A lot of these have had season tickets for a long time, and it's the one expense that they go above and beyond on is to buy these season tickets, and they hold on to them and they pay them out. They maybe have a payment plan where they're paying them out, and then you get these people from New York that fly in there that they're paying $8,000 for a ticket, and they come in there and they're just overly obnoxious. It's ridiculous, and I think that it's becoming more and more of a trend. Because what happens is people pay the money for the ticket, so they believe that gives them the right to be obnoxious, and it doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to say this, making something out of nothing, fair weather fans. All of a sudden, I'm seeing a lot of Facebook posts. I'm going to stay on the sports real quick. Making something out of nothing. Am I making something out of nothing? All of a sudden, all of these people in the Houston area, which does scatter into Huntsville, have suddenly became Spurs fans or cheering for the Spurs.
That's me.
Okay. But you're not like a hardcore Spurs hater.
I'm not going to. I'm going to root for the Spurs because, well, I like what they're doing, and I think that one of the things and through this playoff series, it's been neat to see is just kind of the way that team has come together. And I don't follow the Spurs. I'll be the first to admit I'm just now kind of, and I'm not a bandwagon fan because I'm not really a fan. I'm just watching the game, but I am rooting for them. So I'm kind of bandwagony, but I'm not going to buy the shirt. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Josh, am I making something out of nothing? You don't really like a team, but now all of a sudden you are a super fan. See, Jason's not a super fan. It's okay to root for them.
Yeah, I'm not even a fan. I'm just seeing bystander, and I am hoping for Rob's sake that the Spurs win, and so we can all have peace here at work
and quit hearing about it on Sunday morning announcements. Exactly. Josh, making something out of nothing. All of a sudden, you're a fan of a team just because that team is winning.
I think for you it should be a blessing because you got more people siding with you.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
L.A. I'll tell you what.
I've never been a L.A. fan, a Golden State fan.
If
None
you
of those.
want,
Rockets.
if you want to hear about fair weather fans, I mean, the Knicks are the perfect example. I mean, when have you heard about Knicks fans until recently? Now everybody in the world is a Knicks fan.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. I agree, Rob. I think you're not making something out of nothing. But speaking of the World Cup, who's your team, Josh?
I used to be a Germany fan. I don't follow up with them a lot anymore. I think I'm a Portugal or Argentina fan.
So Argentina won it last year, right? Or whenever the last time was.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You know what, Rob? I have a bone to pick with the World Cup.
I don't keep up. This is the soccer, the FIBA, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
FIFA.
I'm not.
See, I don't even know. I have no idea what
You
I'm
made
talking
a total
about.
fool of yourself, Rob.
Welcome to Good Morning Sports Show.
We're discussing this morning FIBA. It's the bowling league you've all heard about.
Federation of International Bowling Association. Anyway, sorry, Jason.
But my son is he's going to do an internship, and this tomorrow morning we'll be driving up to Dallas, and we'll be looking for him an apartment, and he needs a short-term lease for an apartment up in Dallas. Well, guess what? Because of the World Cup, and a lot of those games are going to be played around the Dallas area, those prices have skyrocketed on the lease agreements, especially for short-term leases. When does this World Cup start, Josh, and when does it end?
I think it starts in like 2 weeks or maybe one week. And then I don't know when it ends.
Yeah, so he is looking for a lease that begins July the 6th and ends December, close to Christmas, end of December. So that corresponds pretty much perfectly with the World Cup.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these games are going to be played in the Dallas area and the Metroplex area, and there's some that are going to be played in Houston as well. Are you going to any of the games?
No, the tickets are way too expensive.
Yeah. So a lot of those games are going to be played up there, and so they have just totally raised the think about this, Rob. For an efficiency apartment, this is like a studio apartment.
Mm-hmm.
The cheapest one that we could find per month is right around $1,200, non-furnished, no electricity, nothing else paid. $1,200 a month for not a one bedroom. This is an efficiency apartment. $1,200 a month, and that's the cheapest one we could find. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's saying over here that it starts on the 11th and it ends on the 19th of July.
Oh, really? Wow, that's short.
Yeah.
Dang.
So.
Well,
there you go.
When does Elijah have his internship?
July 6th he starts.
Okay.
But he goes all the way through December, but he needs a short-term lease because, it's just 6 months. So
yeah.
That's another reason it's so high, is because they want you to sign 12-month leases, and he doesn't need a 12-month lease.
I've got another one, Jason.
Okay, yes, let's hear it,
I
Rob.
want to
Sorry to steal the...
No. This is making something out of nothing.
Yes, yes.
Making something out of nothing. If I don't know what I'm talking about, No, I'm just kidding. FIBA. What is FIBA? Isn't there a FIBA, though? Isn't there am I?
FIFA.
No, I thought there was a FIBA. Hold on.
know.
FIBA. Oh, FIBA's basketball. That's the Overseas Basketball League. The Fédération Internationale de Basketball.
Okay.
So I was right, but
You
it
were
was a
right,
different
see there.
sport. Making something out of nothing. I get very annoyed. It goes to driving, Jason.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of these.
Yes. I call it being too courteous. Too courteous. And what do I mean by that? Too courteous means there's traffic backed up on a road. You see a guy trying to come out and turn right, and you want to go ahead and let him go. But he doesn't realize that you're letting him go. You remain on your brakes. The cars in front of you start to go, but he's trying to be too nice and let this guy over. You, after understanding that you shouldn't get upset driving, you begin to think of things that upset you. You pause for a moment, though, and you say, what is this guy waiting on? Moses to part the Red Sea. That way it deals with it in a positive way. Am I making something out of nothing of too courteous of drivers? Is that wrong to sit there and be nice, but can you be overly nice? Is there a point that you say, this guy's not paying attention, I'm just going to hit the gas? Yes or no?
Well, the churchy thing to say is you can never be too courteous, Rob. But I am going to side with you on this one, because sometimes I feel like we have traffic rules for a reason. I'll give you an example. You come to a four-way stop. The person to your right has gotten there before you, right? And so the thing to do is you stop, and then that person should go on. He stops before you. You drive up to the stop sign. You stop. You look at him. He looks at you. You look at him. He looks at you. And then he waves you on through. And I'm just thinking, now, I don't want to be the impatient guy. And this has only cost me a few seconds. But if he would have just stopped and gone, then, we wouldn't have to have this back and forth. Is it your turn or is it my turn? Is it your turn? Is it my turn? I mean, you obviously got to the stop sign before me. So overly courteous, yes. Mild aggravation,
yes. Borderline about to say something I probably shouldn't say. Yes. No. It happens all the time. I've learned this at a four-way stop now, that I am the guy who now goes. I don't wait. If someone waves me, I no longer wave back. I go ahead and go.
Okay, what about this? This is another one.
Okay, making something out of nothing.
It's a four-way stop, or it could be a three-way stop even. But you pull up, and there's a guy that comes up, and it's a line on both sides, right?
Okay.
So these people come up, they're in front of you, they go. Then the person across from you, they go. Then you come up next in line, and the person across from you and you hit at the same time, and they have their blinker on, like they're going to turn left. Well, the traffic laws say that if you're going straight, you have the right of way, right? But so many times, what'll happen is when you come up to that person that's turning left will go first. You ever notice that? It happens to me or it used to happen all the time at that Veterans crossing. Well, no, that what is that road that by Academy there?
Smither?
Yeah, Smither Bridge right there. Whenever they had a four-way or three-way stop there, and there was no light there at the time, and so you'd come through the subdivision there, and you're going towards Academy, and there'd be another person coming up there that's turning left on the feeder. Well, you arrive at the stop sign at the same time. If you're going across the bridge and you're going straight, you have the right of way because you arrived at the same time. He's turning left to go onto the feeder. But so many times you come up there and they'll go ahead and cut in front of you. That's not courteous. That's just not knowing the rules.
That's not knowing the rules. But in this one, Jason, despite me always siding with these kind of things, on this one, I kind of am on the fence. It's almost making something out of nothing because it's annoying. But at the same token, it happens so fast. I'm kind of like, whatever. What am I gonna do?
I hear you.
Yeah, but it's okay. This is why we have this segment.
But here's the issue, Rob. Whenever you and I were growing up, we had driver's ed,
which I didn't, and I forgot about that law. Though I think a lot of people don't realize
that's what I was getting at. So we had driver's ed, and we had to sit with somebody. Maybe you had a good teacher, maybe you had your coach. I had to sign up. There was a place down here right on Sam Houston Avenue, not far from Hartfield Florist over there. There was a driving school there we signed up for. I had to go over there, take in class, and then ride with somebody. Now it's all parent-led driver's ed. And some of these parents Are they qualified to teach drivers that?
My dad taught me, and he didn't play. I was mentioning this yesterday. Yesterday was the second anniversary of us losing Dad, and I miss my dad. And I was talking to someone yesterday. I think it was actually with maybe the family that I'd met with. I forget. I was talking to somebody about my dad yesterday though, and I said that he had taught me driver's ed, and he didn't beat around the bush about teaching me. In fact, he made me, because you can do the whole thing with your parents except the written part, and then your parents grade you on it. And I didn't know that. I thought you still had to do the driving test, but you at the time you didn't. Your parent could do the driving test too, which in some cases would be kind of scary because of how these parents drive. But my dad didn't play, right? He didn't give me any slack, and he made me watch a video of what happens. And it was pretty
intense. It left a scar on you.
Yes. And he said, you're going to watch this video, and this is why you don't ever drink and drive, son. He goes, there's going to be some blood in there, but you just watch it. And it was
intense.
Yes. My dad did an awesome job teaching me to drive. Some parents, y'all don't even know how to drive. Y'all need to be teaching your kids how to drive. One final making something out of nothing for me, Jason.
Okay.
I experienced this. I experience this daily when I am taking the children to school. It has to do with driving again. Okay. They're at Veterans Memorial, and the road it's where the TDC West Hill Mall is, and I don't know what that road is. That
by Walmart.
You come back one more road because it's behind where Rodeo and all that is over there. You know what I'm talking about? And the new shopping center where the Crumble Cookies is, whatever that road is.
Yeah.
Well, there on that road at Veterans Memorial, I don't like to have to turn right out of the school and then do a loop back to come down Veterans Memorial to get on 11th. You follow me, or on 3rd? Okay?
Yeah.
If there's no cars coming, I will kind of go the opposite way on the road just so I can get to the little break and the turn and the little turning area. Are you following me? It's hard for me to describe. And so I'll look over to the right. If there's nobody at the four-way stop and I look over to the left and there's nobody coming, then I will go on basically oncoming traffic for just 10 feet. And then I cross the median and then I go. I get annoyed in the morning because there are so many times that I could easily just take, and it saves me about 15 seconds by doing this.
Yes.
There's 2 points.
There we go. 15 seconds saved.
Yes. Time is valuable. Am I making something out of nothing? There's parents who are coming down there to drop their children off. They will sit and they will sometimes wait for me to leave, but they don't realize by waiting for me to leave the parking lot, they are blocking my ability to go into head-on traffic and go around that turning lane. I get very annoyed can you just come into the parking lot and quit waiting on me to leave and drop your children off so I can get my 15-second break to get over here to the studio quicker?
Yeah,
Am I making something out of nothing?
Yes, you're making something out of nothing because you're going into head-on traffic there. I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. I'm picturing it in my head right now. You're wanting to take a left there, right?
Yes, and you're not supposed to,
because you want to take, and the road makes you want to take a right.
Yeah, you have to take a right because the median is right in front. But if you go left a little bit, about 10 feet, then you hit
so the same is true, and this just shows you where I spend my time, not at the daycare, but if you go further down the road, there is the retirement center, Creekside, right? And you're not supposed to come out of Creekside and take a left there. They want you to take a right, drive way down there, and do a U-turn. So I feel your pain there, Rob.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'll look down there, and sometimes I'm just really tempted to take a left right there, and this is a show where we bring our issues of forgiveness up that we have to forgive. So I'm saying sometimes I do take a left there when I'm supposed to take a right there because, I'm going down there and you have to make a U-turn. And if you don't have like a newer vehicle, sometimes a U-turn is not possible without a three-way, pulling around there, backing up and going forward again. So, yeah, I feel your pain there, Rob, but that's another one of those things where the drivers may be a little too courteous.
Yeah. And finally, the last one, it's same situation. When I do have to come around and make that U-turn, the car even though I pulled up first and I have my left blinker on, there's always somebody that pulls up that wants to turn right on that road and head down back towards 30. They don't realize that I'm making a U-turn. They think that I'm just going left, so they will pull out in front of me and they will block me from making my U-turn.
Yes, that is frustrating. I don't know. It may be at the end of the day just a traffic. You may be directing your frustration at the wrong people. Maybe you need to direct your attention at the way the roads are laid out right there, because I can see how that would be problematic. And I can also see your point, though. If going down there and making a U-turn is not the safest option sometimes.
Maybe I just need to follow the laws of the land.
Yeah, I guess so.
Practice what I preach.
I guess so, Rob.
Let's take one final break. When we come back, speaking of preaching, we want to talk about the series coming up this Sunday, and we'll wrap it up whenever we come back. So stay with us a little bit more here, a little bit of an extended show. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tomorrowspromise.info for more information. Education you can trust.
Welcome back at it. Time now is 9:18. We'll wrap up here in just a few moments. Thanks for hanging out with us on a fun morning here on a Thankful Thursday. We always cut up. We have a good time, but there's always a time to be serious. This last segment, we didn't get to news you can use today. We just had a lot going on. But Jason, really important series that you started last week. A great turnout here at First. We want people to come, but Sunday, continuing the second sermon in the sermon series, Dare to be a Daniel. maybe let us know a little bit about just last week and what we can expect this week. It's been great so far.
Yeah, no, I love this series, and it really, what brought it to mind was what God is doing with our youth here and our college students, and how God is just, there is a revival going on amongst the young people. And I've just been really encouraged by what God is doing through them. And of course, their youth camp is coming up. And that's always an exciting time. But Dare to Be a Daniel is a series that really focuses on the idea of being different in a world that encourages everybody to be poured into the same mold. The Lord has called us each to be individuals. Think about how hard young people try to find identity. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whether it's the way they dress, they want to be unique, the way they pierce their body, or the way they have tattoos, or whatever. They're looking for that uniqueness. But there's nothing more unique than being who God created you to be, to find that identity in Christ. And what we see in Daniel is the pressure that he felt as a young teenage boy to fit in into a culture that was completely different in which he was raised. And the courage that he had to stand up and be different, to stand up and be unique, and how God blessed him through that. And I think our youth of today are so pressured to fit in with everybody else, to be like everybody else, when the greatest strength that you have is to be unique and let that uniqueness be in Christ, who God created you to be. And so last week we talked about the very first chapter where Daniel and his friends were challenged to fit in, to eat what everybody else was eating, to learn what everybody else was learning, to be conditioned to the Babylonian culture. And Daniel essentially says, test me in this. Let me do it God's way, and let's see what happens. And God blessed him for it. And this week we'll be looking at chapter 2, where Daniel gets the opportunity to interpret a dream for the king. And the interpretation of the dream is simply that God's kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. And I think that this message and throughout this series will challenge us all to live in light of God's kingdom and not fall into the trap of trying to be or want or desire what the rest of the world values as so important. You know, we live in a culture that's constantly pressuring us to be like everybody else, to have what everybody else has, to grow bigger in our wealth and have the finest things and the finest car, and the one who dies with the most toys wins. That kind of mindset is so ingrained into the way that we live. What do you have? What do you do for a living? How successful are you in terms of the world? And there is a different way. There is a better way to live, to find joy and satisfaction not into the things that are perishing, but to seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And we find that is where joy lies. And we teach these things and we show these things, but until you live these things, you never get the opportunity to experience the blessings of God, to be different. And that's what Daniel's all about.
It's been a great series, and we would love for you to come. We've had many wonderful people, and we just love this church and love how the Lord is moving here at First. And I always say this, Jason, there's 42 churches in this community. Just get plugged in somewhere. If you don't have a church home, come here to First Baptist, 1045 on Sunday, and just experience what the Lord is doing. It has been amazing. And Jason, for you, 11 years now here at First, is that right?
Yep.
And does it seem like 11 years? I mean, it's happened pretty fast.
No, it has gone by really fast. And I look back, and there's not a better place no other place I'd rather be than to be right here. And I remember when we first took the position, and there was a lot of uncertainty, I guess, in my life at the time about, is this what God wants me to do? And then there's also the lure of, maybe we should go to a bigger church or a bigger community, or, a suburb church. But I'm so thankful that I just listened to the voice of God in my life and stayed put here, because we're really experiencing the fruit of of ministry, but also a ministry that stays committed. You know, there's many times where I felt like I ought to just walk away, but I'm thankful that I didn't. I'm thankful for my family, but I'm thankful for the church family.
Well, it is great, and just come be a part of what's happening here at First. Well, a fun, thankful Thursday. Jason, thank you, man. I miss being able to do some things, because I know you and I have been so busy. We'll try to get our lunch show going again. We've got to rework a couple of things, because, man, the schedule this last month has just been unbelievable. But it's a good thing, and Spirit Radio continues to grow. Please make sure that you sign up for our newsletter. We're sending that out now once a month, so people know what's happening on Spirit Radio, and also our Hello Huntsville newsletter, as we try to get that out every Thursday. There's a lot happening here in Huntsville, and we want to keep you connected. Well, that will wrap it up for today on this Thankful Thursday. Again, thank all of you for hanging out with us. Hope all of you have a wonderful and blessed day. Big shout out to the Mosh Pit back there, Joshua Moshi. That is the Mosh Pit. Even when Josh isn't here, that production desk is now the Mosh Pit, Jason.
I love it.
So we appreciate all of you. That will wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:30. Billy Cawthon, Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Until then, reminding all of you to remember this. I say it every single time, but we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. I promise somebody out there needs you. Until then, God bless you. We'll see you. Take care, Jason.
All right.